Hello everybody, welcome back to Raycom TV. Hope you're very well and thank you for joining us in the studio today. Now it's another exciting day for us because we have a brand new product from DPA. We've got the 4466 and 4488 headsets. Joining me, I've got Sam. Sam, tell us about yourself, where you come from and what you're here to talk to us about with these headsets.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm from Sound Network. We are the UK division of DPA microphones. I'm one of the directors there and I'm here to talk about this headset.
Cool, so 44, 66 and 88.
Correct.
Quite simple naming really. 66 is the omnidirectional.
That's right.
88 is the directional mic.
Yeah.
We're recording ourselves now actually. We are wearing them on the Omnis.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the product and actually why it's come about, because they look fairly familiar compared to other DPA headsets, but there's some really great changes in there.
Absolutely. So basically this is just an amalgamation of some previous products. So we've got the 5mm capsules from 4066, 4266, tried and tested, been around for years. Mm-hmm. And then the latest headset design from DPA, which is referred to as the refined headset, which you will have seen on the sub-miniature headset, which is the 6066, the 3mm capsule. So that's been around for a little while, and the headset design's been doing quite well. So we've decided to put the two together.
And why the refined headset then? What's sort of special about that you've chosen that one to put this capsule onto?
Well, the refined headset is an interesting question because it kind of brings together the features from the previous headset. So we've got the first headset design, the 4066 or 4088, which is quite a rigid metal frame. Still around, still does very well, particularly in theatre, but doesn't have modularity and can get bent out of shape and things like that. We've then also got the Flex headset, which is a 4266 or 4288, which is right at the other end of the spectrum. Very flexible, very comfortable, but you know, perhaps a little bit too flexible for some people, depending on the application. And this kind of meets in the middle. So you've got a nice flexible headset, which you can sort of bend and malleable to someone's head, but returns to a headset shape. And there's some really other cool features in there as well.
Sure, and actually it's really different to headsets I've worn in the past, where we've got this almost 3-point connection.
Exactly that,
really comfortable. Normally I'd have pressure up on top of my temples and it would feel a bit horrible after a while. Actually we've been wearing these now for a couple of hours and really comfortable.
Exactly that. It's 3 points connection, so you've got connection here, here and here, so below the ear, behind the ear and above the ear. And so that gives real nice stable headset when it's on someone's head, but like you said, it's very comfortable and not too intrusive.
Sure.
Particularly for people that aren't used to wearing headsets or perhaps we're a bit hesitant.
Sure. And now with headsets in the past, we'd actually have to buy a particular headset size to fit our head. Mm-hmm. The two of us have got quite different head sizes and we're wearing the same headset. It's fully adjustable, isn't it?
It absolutely is, yeah. It's one size fits all, so it's quite easy to do. I don't know if you can see, so you can just pull these two and that reduces the headset size to quite small, or you just put it on the sides and that brings it back out. So very simple, very quick, and yeah, one size fits all, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What about the boom then as well? Because that's always a sticking point for people. Boom placement's really important. Is it an adjustable boom?
It absolutely is. So we've got a locking mechanism here, so we can just pull this cap off. And once that's off, you can move the boom back and forwards. And then once you're happy with that, you can lock the boom in place. And then the other movement that you have is, excuse me, is up and down. So you can tilt the boom up and down here at this little pivot point below the ear.
Fine. Now the headset we've got on the table in front of us is the directional, so the 4488. We've opted to use the omnidirectional in the studio here today. Why would you choose an omni or a directional depending on your situation?
Okay, so omni versus directional is quite an interesting topic and I can bang on it for quite a while, but broadly speaking, an omnidirectional microphone is a more natural sounding microphone, just through its concept and how it's made and put together. There's less contributing factors to its overall sound. So in a perfect world, use an omni. However, we don't live in a perfect world, and you're in scenarios where there's lots of background noise or perhaps in a challenging acoustic environment. And that's when we would say that's when you go to a cardioid or a directional to kind of combat those environmental issues. So in this example, we're in a relatively quiet studio, and so an omni should be the way to go. Other interesting fact when it comes to omni versus directional is proximity to sound source. So an omni at say 10 centimeters from its sound source is actually going to behave like a cardioid at 17 centimeters from its sound source. So particularly with headsets, because the headset is very close to the mouth, very close to the sound source, I think you'll kind of be surprised what you can get away with when you use an omni. That being said, we offer directionals because, like I said, there are very challenging environments out there, and sometimes that focus that you get from a directional is going to give you the results that you need.
Amazing. Now, on the subject of that, and actually your placement of your boom, the boom, can it be switched left and right as well?
It can absolutely be switched left and right, and that's just done by this very small plastic fitting here, which can essentially come off and be switched to the other side. It is very secure, and it's designed to be very stable. What we found when we started sort of asking users out there is switching sides does happen. It tends to happen in pre-production, and actually what's really important when you're live is having a really secure fitting on the bottom of the headset.
Sure. On that subject, actually, of secure fitting, it does feel really stable on my head. I could feel like I could do, not just like we're doing now, sort of speaking in studio, speaking to you guys. I could be running around on stage for so actually this headset's going to stay true.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's a key thing for us. Obviously, DPA, they operate in multiple markets. So there might be a typical corporate where someone's just standing at a lectern, but we're very, obviously very prevalent in West End and theatre and live music and all that sort of thing. So the idea being is you want it to be as comfortable as possible, but very stable, so people can move around and be free to perform in the way they need to.
Something I found in the past as well with that, actually, if I am doing something where I'm moving around a bit more and I'm turning my head quite a lot, cable. I'm sure you've been through the cable problem before. These got a new cable design, haven't they?
Absolutely. So we've got a cable design here where it sends the cable down the back. Now, for me, it's one of those things that's both kind of genius, but also you think, why have we never done that before? And well, now we have, and this is a really nice, simple way of sending the cable down the back.
Perfect. And I can see as well on here where we've got this 90-degree running down the back. It's adjustable, so actually we can slide the position of it if you do want it more biased to the left or the right of you. Say, like I'm standing here, more my left side is pointed towards the guys watching at home. So actually the cable's slightly more off to the right just to hide it a bit more.
Absolutely.
Perfect design. And simple, like you said.
Yeah, very simple, but effective.
So modularity then. Quite a big thing, as you mentioned earlier, with DPA products and the wider range. We have that option here as well. We can detach various bits and make changes if we need to.
Much like the 42 series, we've got a protective cap here which comes off, and then you can pull off the cable and replace it. Or if you have hardwired options but you're using a different RF system, you can use a different cable without having to get a different boom. But the primary reason is that it's the cable end that normally breaks or gets treated badly by the user. But it's obviously the capsule and boom end that is expensive. So as long as you look after this bit, the rest of the headset, both the frame and the cable, can be replaced.
Amazing. Now, the capsule, the 5mm capsule that we love and are quickly loving across the rest of the range as well. If we've got, say, a 6066 headset sat at home that's got a 3mm capsule on it, can we actually take the boom off this and put it on a 6066?
Absolutely, yeah. So all of the headsets that come with the Refine headset, you can take the booms off and fix them to the Refine headset.
So
no problem at all.
As long as they've got the Refine headset, fully modular with each other.
As long as they're part of the newer ranges, yeah.
Perfect.
Much like the old series, so with the 42, 66 and 88, so you can switch the booms around with the headsets and they're all modular with one another. That's the same with the 44 series with the 60, 66 as well.
Cool. Something important to quite a lot of people then. Colours. Colours. We've got the two in the studio with us, the 66 and the 88 are in the colour they call beige. It's not really beige though, is it, Sam? It's actually more of a gold.
It's more of a gold, and that's due to the PVD treatment that it has. And that's a very conscious decision, and primarily the PVD treatment, what that allows is, particularly in environments like this, in studios or where you've got bright lights, it really reduces the sort of glare and glint that you might get from the headset, which does actually help it to sort of blend in and be camouflaged on the user.
Sure. I mean, we've got really, really bright lights here in the studio, and just to show you guys, if I do pick this up and move it around, that PVD coating does extend all around the wiring of the headset and down the boom as well, and it is actually on the capsule itself as well. It covers the whole thing. The whole unit's color coordinated anyway, so your wire will flow in nicely. But if I do move it around in our various bright lights, you'll see it does really minimize that glare. It's not just beige we have the opportunity to have though, is it? We've got black. We've got
beige, black and brown.
Brown as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Beige and black right now, and then brown's coming.
Cool. So connector options then for the 44, 66 and 88. There are a range of connectors you can have directly from factory. If you want to have a look at those, head over to raycom.co.uk. We'll link the product page for these two headsets down below. When you do click on it, there'll be a drop down up on the right hand side and you'll see your varying connector options. We do have the option to re-terminate though, don't we, if we need to?
Absolutely. As standard, all DPA miniatures come with microdots, so you can use them with the relevant adapter depending on the wireless system that you might be using. However, if you are perhaps only using one wireless system, or you like that little bit of extra security not losing your adapters, then you can get them hardwired. Either out of the factory, but I also believe you guys do it here as well.
Yeah, sure. So something like a 3-pin LEMO, if we wanted to, we can have it as a factory fit or just rewire it as necessary.
Absolutely, yeah. So as an adapter or hardwired, whichever you prefer.
Easy. Modular again. So we've had a little look over the 66 and the 88. You may have noticed, those watching at home, we've got another headset sat in the corner of the desk with us. That's the in-ear headset. Talk me through this, because actually this is a bit of an unheard gem, this one.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, so this, the headset design there that we're talking about is actually based on the 4266 and 4288, so the Flex headset from previous models. But then what the in-ear broadcast headset has is the addition of earpieces. So you can either get single or dual ear headset with single or dual ear earpieces as well. And then all that does is then run 2 wires down the back, one for your microdot, and then one with a mini jack to go into your IEMs or whatever it might be, whatever you might be monitoring.
Sounds ideal for things like TV, where actually you really want to isolate that
Exactly.
sound coming in.
And it's nice, it keeps it all in one package. So rather than having a headset and then some other thing to do with the monitoring, it's all just on one headpiece and then into the ears.
Amazing. Sam, thank you very much for coming in today. Guys, thank you watching at home. Hope you enjoyed a quick overview of these two fantastic products. They are available on the Raycom website, raycom.co.uk, as we said before. So the 4466 is the omnidirectional, the 4488 is the directional mic. All of the options will be there for you. So thanks for watching. Once again, Sam, thanks for coming in. We'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe if we're feeling lucky. See you soon.